Hello, everybody in the chess world. Today I'm going to talk to you about a situation that, well, a lot of you probably know. Most certainly if you play in tournaments. So it's a situation where a game is clearly going to be a draw. Maybe it's a close position or it is clearly going for a draw, but one of the two opponents is just not having it, just trying to win the game anyway. It could be you, it could be your opponent, but, just pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to get something, trying to get water out of the stones. And a lot of times the pushing side is successful. So sometimes we will win this game where it was clearly going to be a draw and we feel like, well, great victory. Sometimes it's the opposite. We feel like it was going to be a draw and our opponent kind of stole, the victory from us, just pushing it and pushing it. So, yeah, it'll build our characters. We have to be resilient if our opponent is stubborn and trying to take that half a point out of us. And at the same time, yes, we can apply it for ourselves and maybe try to, why not, get an extra half a point. So this position is, well, such an example. I had this position in really old tournament. It was a tournament where I was pretty much an underdog. Everyone was so much stronger than myself, except for this one guy who was kind of like, really, he was the underdog of the tournament. He had like no place there. He was really, really weak. But, well, destiny paired him against myself on the first round. So I kind of, and I was white, so I kind of had to win. But I was playing really badly. And we arrived to this position that I'm showing you right here. It was his turn. And, well, can you guess what he played? Well, obviously he played h5, closing everything finally. And I remember he kind of shrugged, he made like this gesture, like, first he went like this, like, and then he kind of shrugged, like saying, it's a draw. Now there's nothing to do. And initially we can see that everything is closed and the juiciest squares for my knights, because in close positions knights are better than bishops. I do have the pair of knights, which is better than just one cool knight and one bad bishop. But, well, what to do, right? If I could place any of these knights almost anywhere, at least from the equator down, into my position, well, where to put them? I mean, no access for a knight into this juicy square because, well, d4 is control, b4 is control. No access here, clearly a juicy square, but this c4 and e4 squares are occupied by my own pawns. This f5, well, this will be not here. The other access will be, let us say, from f5, but this is quite controlled by both of his pawns. It's looking close all over. Well, this other f6 square the same. E4, I have this pawn. From g4 is control. I knew this was kind of like the position he was trying to get from a few minutes ago. So he made this gesture like saying, well, maybe he was trying to get into my head, and I thought a little bit like, well, what can I do here to trying to continue the game? I could maneuver, my knights all over, but where to put them? So, well, from the first time, I will ask you to pause the video and think. Okay, so I played kind of a little bit of a loco move here. I played knight d5, which, well, this move should definitely not change the evaluation of the position. It shouldn't. Definitely, but it is a try, it is a try because, well, I'm forcing him to take the knight because otherwise this b6 pawn will fall, and also he can do it, so obviously he did. E takes d5. So now I played the most, obvious move. I played e takes d5. I think c takes d5, again, did not change the evaluation too much. Every one of these positions should basically be a draw. But, okay, this was tryable, let's say. And, knight f8. Similar to the game. I played e takes d5. He played knight f8. So, well, here I want to cash in with e6 check. Cash in, just recover the material. And I saw that against any capture, I will have this intermediate knight e5 check move. So I was trying to gain some space, maybe create some sort of gain space with my knight, with my king. Well, just trying something, anything to win, So, well, first surprise is that he captured with the bishop, which, well, once again, this also should be a draw. But we can say that it seemed like a much easier draw just to take it with the knight, right? Because, well, I would have, included this 95 check intermediate move anyway, but after king e8, well, again, this should be a draw. I mean, if I liquidate everything like this, well, here it looks like I'm winning the opposition, but there is no access. This is classical. The pawns are controlling. His king can always dance back and forth in here. So, yeah, this is a draw. And going a little bit back, I said that after knight takes e6, after e6 check, I said the knight takes e6 was an easier draw. After the check and king e8, I could just take the knight and try to win this endgame. I probably would have done that, but after king e4, I don't know. Well, he can even play, I don't know, bishop g8, it should be draw. But okay, after e6 check, he took it with a bishop. I did include this 95 check, and he won king e7. I guess he saw that he was, well, safe anyway. So, well, d takes e6. Correct, king takes e6. He's trying to come in with his king, because my plan is obviously to go king e4. One day, well, my dream square, access square for my king will be d5, but okay, that is why he plays his king on e6, so to prevent that from happening, actually I did go king e4, and now the only move, but apparently sufficient, that he played was, well, king d6, Okay, he cannot move his knight here, but it's no zugzwang, of course. Well, if knight d7, I will just take it and invade, but well, also I could actually take the g6 pawn as well. But yeah, king d6, and well, again, here it was probably the second moment where it is like, well, what to do now? I mean, it looks like a draw again. I mean, I don't know, if I move my knight, he'll be free to move his, because he won't be, having to protect like this pawn right here. And well, what else? I mean, if I move my king, he'll move his king, like, again, back and forth. Here we will just dance. So, well, second moment of, another detail is that I had seen that I had this possibility of knight c6. This I had calculated previously, but well, now again, whenever I move my knight, he can move his, and this move to me seemed like, well, probably enough to draw, because I even saw this knight a7 possibility, just kind of flirting with the idea of knight c8 check will also be hitting this b6 pawn, trying to get some sort of zugzwang. There were a few zugzwangs. For example, here, if king e6, well, knight c8, now that is zugzwang, because yeah, the knight cannot move because I will check this pawn, and the king cannot move because I will gain access for my king to d5. But going back, he is not forced to play king e6. He can just play knight f8. And now if knight c6 check, well, king c7, he's in time. The king is protecting b6 and hitting my knight. Well, I will have to at least, go back and try it all over again. I don't know, maybe going now knight d5, something like that. But no, again, knight d7, this is already one repetition. So again, it was like going back to this position is not easy, right? So, well, again, this is for you guys to think about it. Well, what will you attempt here? Just pause the video and think. Okay, I attempted knight f7 check with a very specific idea in mind, which is, well, he replied with pretty obvious king e7, and now, what was the idea? Well, yeah, king d5. I mean, when you want to win, you'll try anything, and, well, I went pretty deep in calculation, and I realized that I will not lose this position. So it was, again, a free try for me. Okay, objectively, this is still a draw, and we'll see why. But at least I was safe. I was like, this is, again, a free try. I can try this. He took my knight, which is the only move, and king c6. This was the idea, of course. My king penetrating his position on the queen side. And yeah, I mean, try to, blow away these three guys. I mean, if I will, maybe with some pawns, I'll make a queen. I was calculating. I was like, okay, there are a lot of possibilities for me to win, and no risk at all to lose the game. So he played king e7. I took the pawn. Knight d7 check. And, well, again, this is, I mean, I played king c7 here because, Well, you gotta be careful. This again, I had calculated this. I was king takes on a5. Knight on e5 was the problem, which is hidden c4 that cannot be protected. You know, I'll just open up the engine to see what, because I'm thinking, but what about b6? And yeah, the engine is making it quite simple. It takes here and then it just takes the pawn. You know, yeah, that was it. And c4. And this will be, well, the engine is kind of saying, well, let us continue this line, because I actually don't remember this. I want to see why the computer is, I think it is a draw, but the computer is liking black here. So, well, no, I mean, I guess it is, yeah, this, well, now it's understanding that this is probably also a draw. Okay, well, black has the initiative and they could probably try to take some pawns, but this was also a draw. So yeah, okay, now not too difficult to see. But okay, I played king c7. Just I'm trying to paralyze him, and I already created one pass pawn. Of course, well, it won't be really enough. I mean, it is not enough objectively. But again, once again, I had to try anything to win. You know, like Bobby Fischer used to say. So he played king e6. Correct. He's just waiting. So I pushed my pawn, and he was like, again, waiting. And I pushed my pawn, and once again waiting, but, well, he was obviously calculating things correctly. I mean, so far so good for him. King e6 is the only move, but it is enough to draw. I mean, okay, king e8 would have lost immediately, because now I can already, yeah, just promote the pawn, and yeah, I'm quicker with my king b7, king d6, king b6, and it's already over. But yeah, going back, I mean, after b7, he went king e6. This is correct, because now I cannot promote, you know, this will be even, well, this is even losing. Now he's getting, really faster there. So, but I had seen that, and I did not make b8 queen here. I just played, yeah, king c6. Again, holding it down, maybe trying to speculate a little bit. Maybe I can go eat those pawns. And again, he was like king e7. You know, you can see on his moves and on his attitude. These are correct moves. These are all moves that will objectively maintain, the equality. But he was like, this is going to be draw, dude, Don't think otherwise. So, well, as I said, well, again, if I go king c7 is what he wants. He just wants to go back, king e6 and make a draw. So what did I play here? Well, again, king b5. You always got to try. If the rest of all the other lines are either 3-4 repetitions, or you gotta play the move that changes the thing and then forces your opponent to think and to find the draw for themselves. Also, I actually thought that I had objective possibilities of winning. I think, if I remember correctly, I thought that I was winning here. So, wrong. But okay. So, he played king d8. Correct. He's like, okay, you can go with my pawns, but king takes a5, king c7. So, now I have, again, only move for white not to lose. I have to protect the pawn. And I did. King a6. So, once again, he was always finding the correct defense. Knight b8 check. King a7. Knight c6 check. King on a8. But now, and this was move 60, I did not talk about the situation on the clocks. We had time, but, well, there's fatigue. It's move 60, it's a long game. I'm always pushing him. He's trying to settle into what seems to be a draw, but I'm always asking questions. How will you draw here? And how will you draw this other position? That is a draw, and there's a 3-4 repetition. Well, how will you draw this position? This is what you have to do. This is what a lot of times our opponents do with us. And this was the moment where he could not stand the pressure anymore. And here he made the double question mark, the big mistake, which allowed me to win the game, because this position actually was still a draw. But it wasn't so easy to see. The correct move, and the only move, was knight b8 back. Because, I don't have enough squares for both my a-pawn and my king. So the line will go, well, let us say a5, I'm just trying to go a6, a7, either make a queen here or like this. It looks winning, but knight a6, and after king a7, he just goes back. Because after a6, here's the key, knight d7. Kind of mocking me, right? Again, this king is perfect here because it's covering these two squares. I really like this. It's a cool way to draw. So my king has no access. So I only have like a8 and a7 for both my king and my pawn, and that's not enough. I mean, king a8, well, just check. Again, what can I do? And knight here, and again, there's nothing to do. It's like zugzwang if you want, well, like mutual zugzwang, but this is a draw. This was the way to draw the games. But okay, after king in a8, he did not see this line. So I think I did not see this line either. I thought I was winning the way I actually won the game. He played king b6, and I knew that that was losing. Or again, this now is finally after such a struggle, a winning king and pawn endgame. I just promoted the queen, and after the exchange, king a5. He has to go capture one of my pawns, but he's too slow. King takes, king, and after king, well, of course, king d5. So now, well, he's forced to abandon the defense of this c5 pawn and allow me to take it, and that will be just a totally winning king and pawn endgame. So in this position, he actually resigned. So, well, you saw that I had to ask a lot of questions in this game, and actually he had an escape, but keep building up the pressure. Well, it can give us a lot. In the end, it can give us the victory. So, well, I hope this was a good lesson for you all, And again, I'm sure a lot of you have been on the other side, of the thing. I've been there myself as well, just going really solid. It's a draw. I know it's a draw, but I know that my opponent pressures. Sometimes I get the draw. Sometimes I don't. I just lose the game. And so, okay, so thanks a lot for watching. I will ask you as usual to, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thanks a lot.